since we are in the path of tshuva, it says, Ikar tshuva, the main part of the tshuva, is a positive mitzvah from the Torah. It's a mitzvah taseh, and seemingly it's a very simple mitzvah. What's the big deal? I'm going to tell you in a second. You'll be like, that's it? That's the main part of the tshuva? Really, it's a very difficult part to do. And like I told you, this is a positive mitzvah from the Torah that can be found in the book of Bamidbar, chapter 5, verse 6 and 7. And it says as follows, Ish o isha, ki ya'asu mikol chatat. When a man or a woman commits any sin against man or against God, vehitvadu et chatotam, they shall confess the sins they committed. This is the main part of the tshuva. Why is that the main part of the tshuva? Because, first of all, because that's what the Torah says. But the main part is to admit. If you remember, we had a class last week where I told you that the main sin of Adam HaRishon was that he wasn't thankful for the Kadosh Baruch Hu. He says, oh, the woman that you gave me. You gave me. All he needed to do, he says, I sinned. That's it. And Hashem would accept. So the Torah says that the main part of the tshuva is a positive mitzvah of confessing. And like I told you, this can be found in the book of Bamidbar, chapter 5, verses 6 and 7. Now, where do we see an example, a living example of admitting, as with the story with Yehuda? I don't know if you're familiar so much with the story, but Yehuda, at the time of the selling of Yosef, there's like a detour in the parasha that suddenly is going and telling about a story that Yehuda went and he had a wife and he had 3 kids, and these kids, 3 of them died, and then he went and he thought he's going to a prostitute, but it was really his daughter-in-law, and he had relations with her, and then she got pregnant, and she was supposed to be burnt or stoned. And then he says, whoa, don't do anything to her. It was me. Whew. Can you imagine of a man in the level of Yehuda coming and say, whoa, don't kill her. It was me. I was with her. All he needed to do is go home, close the windows, bring down the drapes, sit quietly like this for 2-3 hours. They would kill her, and the secret would go to the grave with her. But he was a man, and he came and says, no, I did it. What's interestingly that this quality of hoda'ah, of admitting, is in his name. Yehuda. Yehuda, hoda ba'ashma. The same letters. He admitted that he was guilty. What do we say every day? Chatati, aviti, pashati. I have sinned by mistake, deliberately. I did horrible sins. Nachon, you're right. But I admit. When you admit, you are doing most of the tshuva. This is the main part of the tshuva. But what does it mean to admit? Not just to say, I was wrong. Hashamti, chatati, avidi, pashati. That we do, that's verbally saying. Really, when it means to admit, is when you say, I wish I never did that sin. I wish I could somehow do tshuva for that. That is the real definition of admitting. Not just saying, I'm guilty. Now, you would think that say, guilty, it's easy. Technically, it should be easy. Did you sin? Yes. Did you steal? Yes. That's what you're telling me? All I need to do is admit and I'm good? Now, I said, you're good. I said, that's the main part of the tshuva. Because if you admit, then you're already on the path of tshuva. A big chunk of your tshuva was already done. Now, really, what's that meaning? Like I said, that you have to have in mind, I wish I never did that. This is called the charata, that you regret and feel remorse. What is Kabbalah La'atid, accepting to the future, that you're saying, I wish I will never do this sin again. That's the main part of the admitting. Now, again, what is the main part of the admitting here? I'll read it in Hebrew and then I'll explain. Hakara she'ani lo yachol letaken. What does it mean? That you acknowledge that you can't fix the sin you did. What? You telling me now that I have to admit that I did a sin, but the main part of the admitting is for me to acknowledge that I can't correct what I did. So what kind of a tshuva is it? The tshuva is that when I admit, when I confess, I call out to Hashem, I messed up. And only Hashem can fix it. If I think that I can fix something that I did, you can't. You can only admit. And by you admitting, it's a call out. Hashem, I have sinned. Chatati, aviti. You are declaring to the Master of the universe. You are confessing. You are bowing down to Hashem and saying, I did it. And I know I can't fix it. Can you fix your soul? When you sin, your soul gets dirty. Can you clean your soul? No. Can you any type of way? You just spoke Lashon Hara. Can you fix the damage you did? No. Only Hashem can do that. If I slandered somebody now, and I told everybody that he did something, and now because of that, nobody shops in his business, or whatever it is, can I fix really that? No. Only Hashem can make it in such of a way that other people are coming to all the people that I slandered, and there's other people are testifying that he's kosher. I can't do anything. The only thing I can do is confess. So when our sages explain Ikar HaTshuva or Vidui, the main part of the tshuva is to confess, is of course to say it out loud, but to understand in the back of my mind that I wish I will never do this sin again. And when I scream out to Hashem, I did that, is me saying, I messed up, I cannot fix it, I am calling you Hashem, and only Hashem can fix it. I'm calling out to Hashem that He should come and fix it. And Hashem loves when we admit and confess, and He says, no problem, I'll come and fix it. Just admit, just confess, just acknowledge, you messed up. No problem, you're human. I will come and fix. So when we really want to focus on tshuva, you have to understand that you have to admit, you have to confess, you have to accept that you messed up, you have to acknowledge that you did something wrong, and more than that, understand that you are just calling out to Hashem for Him to come and fix the damages that you did.